Welcome to the best things.
These aren't the best things. These are the worst things.
That's right. Hello, Internet. My name is Craig. Sitting alongside me, as usual, Count Aaron.
You want to count numbers.
You know, my daughter is really into Sesame Street right now, and she has been doing that. We'll talk through numbers, and we'll say, hey, tell us your numbers, or count, and she'll say like 1, 2, she'll do the laugh. I was like, well, maybe we need to dial back the Sesame Street a little bit. Welcome to the pod, everybody. It's Halloween week, which means we're ever closer to Thanksgiving and Christmas. I know Halloween is... We'll get into the intro in just a second. I guess we can get into it right now. We're doing a worst episode. This is a little bit different than our a typical best things episode. We're going to talk about the worst things about Halloween.
We're going to do our worst today.
We usually hang out on Halloween.
We do.
And we usually... we live in town, so we get trick-or-treaters that come by our house. And usually we do something. This year we're all... I don't know if you're doing it yet. You seem to be the one that's the outlier here. But the rest of us are going to do the Flintstones as our costumes because it just works out. Like, we have a daughter, you've got a son. They're about the same age, and so it just kind of...
Yeah.
Works to have Pebbles, Bam Bam, Fred, Wilma, Betty, and maybe Barney. Maybe Barney.
I'm going to maybe be Barney. That's right.
Halloween, give Halloween a rating from 1 to 10 on where it ranks as far as... Not that for you.
3.
3?
Yeah.
I might give
4.
It a 4. Yeah.
It's...
I'm fine with it. My wife loves to dress up. That's one of her things she loves to do. She loves dressing up. Outside of that, just the magic's gone. I guess we're old farts now. You know, the magic of Halloween's kind of gone. I mean, I don't know. Getting to watch my kid do some stuff is going to be fun. Last year,
sure.
She was too young. Harrison was too young. But this year, she's going to have some more fun with it.
At some point, we need to do an episode on the best holidays.
Have we not done just a straight up holiday?
I don't. If we have, I don't remember it.
I don't think we have.
And just rank them. I mean, we did the best months.
I mean, we know what's going to win, right? Don't we? I mean, Christmas is going to sweep.
I would say it's going to be Thanksgiving or Christmas. I don't know.
I mean, maybe we leave out the best minor holidays other than those two. Of course, you feel bad not having Easter there, for obvious reasons.
Yeah,
well.
That's that would be bad.
Oh my gosh, we're recording in the morning time. We should mention that, and so
this isn't our norm.
We're not totally. I don't know about you. I'm not. I've been up since like before 5, so I'm not even kind of awake yet. Still at 11 o'clock in the morning.
I haven't been up that long, but I've been up pretty early.
You asked what Halloween episodes have we done?
That was it, yes.
Because we knew this was coming out the week of Halloween. We're trying to figure out, what have we done in the past? And we've done the best. What? Candy.
We've done candy. We've done costumes. We've done the top 10 candy.
Way back in the day.
Yes.
So we thought, let's change it up and talk about the worst things. We found a list that kind of hit the nail on the head. We're old crotchety men now, and so...
We like to gripe and complain and rant.
Gives us an opportunity to complain. So
we have talked about candy in the past, and I know that we talked about we've named the best candy. I don't know how much time, I just don't remember how much we spent on the worst candy. So let's just go ahead and talk about some of the worst candies.
Number 1, worst candy there.
Absolutely
that
not.
The worst.
That's not true.
You like candy corn, don't you?
I am indifferent to candy corn.
Oh, you're indifferent.
I will eat a piece of candy corn or 2 or the little pumpkins that are sort of the same way.
Yeah.
What is your issue with candy corn?
It has no flavor. It's just sugar. It doesn't taste like anything.
That may not be the worst thing.
I mean, Okay, it's not the worst candy because there is candy that's just it's just
Candy corn gets a lot of
bad.
hate, and many people put it at the top of their list.
Yeah.
I think that people have not done their due diligence when it comes to thinking through.
What?
Let me just read off some
Okay, yeah.
that are on different lists. Candy corn, circus peanuts,
Okay.
Necco wafers, Good and Plenty, Mary Jane peanut butter kisses. Do you remember those?
Which ones are those again?
They're wrapped in black and orange wax paper.
That's what I was thinking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, those are.
It's a
very bad.
nondescript candy.
Yeah, anything that does not have a branding on it, I don't trust.
Bit o' honey.
Bit of honey does not deserve to be on the bottom end. It doesn't deserve to be a worse candy. It's not.
Says it's
not
known for its
good.
tough, chewy texture. Tootsie Rolls.
Really.
That's here. Smarties. That should absolutely.
No.
That is one of the 10 worst.
Smarties are great.
It may be one of the 5 worst.
No.
Smarties may be the
But
worst.
you're a chalk hater.
I'm a chalk
You
hater.
don't like chalky candy.
And also, this says Smarties US version.
Is there a
I want to know what the
what are they
alternative version of Smarties are. Wax Coke bottles
Oh yeah, those are bad.
and peanut butter bars.
So okay, maybe they're not. That was me adjusting my chair for the audio listeners. Maybe candy corn is not the worst.
No.
But it's not good.
I would redo this list if I were talking about the 10 worst. I personally think Good and Plenty is the worst.
Yeah, I mean, you're not.
I am a licorice hater. I do not like black licorice whatsoever.
I don't know that I would make it totally the worst because those circus peanuts are not good at all.
Circus peanuts and Necco wafers and Good and Plenty would be my top 3.
Necco wafers. If I'm going from 10 to 1 on worst, I will admit that. Like, how many did that give you? 10?
10.
That was the 10. So Tootsie Roll, if I've got to re-rank that, Tootsie Roll's number 10. No, Smarties are number 10.
I would put Tootsie Rolls number 10. I'm not a Tootsie Roll hater.
Tootsie Roll, it would be at 9, Bit of Honey at 8.
I like Bit of Honey.
According to that list, I might give candy corn the 7 spot.
Honestly, I could put wax Coke bottles up at number 1. I could make a case that's like, who wants that?
Right, yeah.
Who's eating that?
The Mary Jane, is that what they're called?
Yeah, the
those
peanut butter kisses.
Your circus peanuts, the Coke bottles, all those are just trash.
Circus peanuts.
How they're still existing in 2024, I will never know.
And I don't even know if I realized they were banana flavored. I just know that I didn't like them.
Are they banana flavored?
According to this, I do not like banana flavored stuff.
That's wild.
So
No, yeah, me either.
that could be why I'm really averse to the circus peanuts.
What is it? Okay, we're going to get to this. What is it about the chalky candies that you don't like? Is it just purely texture? You just don't like the texture of it at all?
Yeah. I just don't like the texture.
Why that just
Chalk isn't like, who wants to eat chalk?
It's not chalk. Like it's not dry after you've consumed it.
It is. I feel like it just always creates heartburn. That chalk
Hold on.
stuff.
Time out. I think you're associating that candy with Tums.
They're very Tums-like.
Every time
Yes.
you eat a Tums, you have heartburn. So it's just that association.
Maybe they're like Tums.
You have just associated Smarties and Sweet Tarts with Tums.
They induced the need to eat a Tums.
No, they don't. I've never one time had some Smarties and go, oh gosh, guys,
What?
hold on, I got gas. I got gas buildup.
Indigestion. There are I think better candies that have that, and that would be ones that are coated in some sort of slick, like a spree.
Yeah, I like Sprees.
I like a spree.
Runts.
I hate runts.
Is that a textured thing?
I like
or is it
runts in the
flavor?
beginning, but once that slick candy shell has gone off of them, I hate them, and I don't want a banana runt.
I do hate the banana runs, and sometimes the banana flavor will seep its way into the other stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll get with you on that. That's why Spree is superior to Runt.
That Nerds are a good candy.
Nerds,
They're
okay,
They're not chalky.
but
They
Kind
are
of.
they are in like this hybrid area.
So you're okay.
Gobstoppers are good.
Okay.
I like those.
Okay.
And sprees. I think it is. I don't like that chalk texture,
Okay.
and they're very Tums like.
Well, candy corn, I mean, it's one of those that just like, I don't know, it's
Have you seen some of the recipes that people can use with candy corn, like candy corn nachos?
because it's sugar. Like, it's just, you could replace your sugar in your coffee or something with some candy corn. It'll dissolve up, and
I think that it is way less offensive than several of these 10.
I agree with that. Yeah. So I do think saying it is the worst candy is probably overkill. I think, and I mean, hold on. I had some stats here. It originally was called chicken feed.
What?
Candy corn? Candy corn was. It was created in the 1880s. Today, more than 35 million pounds of candy corn are produced each year in the United States. There was something else I saw. Hold on. Where's it out? I thought I had a stat on candy corn. I guess it went away when I refreshed it. I do remember seeing that it's very polarizing because it's listed number 6 Halloween candy overall, I think is the stat I saw, but it's also listed as one of the worst. So you can tell like it's very split down the middle on what people, it's just based on who you poll. There is not a consensus on candy corn.
The states that buy the most candy corns, California, Texas, and Florida. Those are some of the biggest states. That's probably why.
But do you think, okay, if we're going just on purchasing, like that's just, people just put it out. So I mean, I can see why purchasing might be high, but like as far as
is there going to be
liking
candy corn out at your house on Halloween?
No, there won't be. We're not a. I guess Lauren likes candy corn, but
Erica likes candy
we
corn.
never have it out though. I mean, because that's another thing. Like it's just loose candy. Like they're not individually wrapped, or they're not little packages of candy corn.
It's a communal candy.
It comes in a big bag. Like you commit to, if you're gonna have candy corn, you got to commit to it. Like I'm gonna eat this whole thing, or something's getting
Put it
wasted.
in a resealable bag, a baggie. Did you talk about how much is produced a year?
I did not.
I'm seeing approximately 35 million pounds.
I see that here.
It
as well.
says it's about 9 billion with a B individual pieces of candy corn.
That's so much. The only time that I ever purposefully bought candy corn was when I was doing student ministry. We would buy a big old bag of it. We'd had to count each individual one, put it in a big jar, and have them guess how many was in it. You know.
Okay.
That's the only time I ever intentionally.
According to CandyStore.com, in a 2022 survey, 52% of Americans said they liked candy corn. That's more than half the population. Half of Americans like candy corn. So let's quit calling it trash candy. If more than half of you out there like it.
Is that your political platform? Just the candy corn party? Like, make candy corn great again?
And I think that there are good candy corns and there's bad candy corns. I've had bad candy corn. But I think you find, like, Brock's.
See, I don't know the difference. Maybe that's just it. Maybe the only time
I
I've
have
ever
found
gotten it
some
was
that
cheap
taste a lot
candy
better.
corn.
Yeah,
So
if you're getting Clover Valley candy corn, it probably doesn't taste as good as Brock's candy corn.
Okay,
does.
next Halloween night, bring some good quality candy corn. I will try it. We need to do a candy corn taste test for TikTok.
I know you've told me that you are always willing to try anything once.
Absolutely, yeah.
And that is going to bite you in the butt. I can promise you.
It already has.
I am just compiling some things in my mind
That's called
for this.
mountain oysters I had in China one time that were undercooked and popped like a gusher.
Gosh.
That bit me in the butt, or in other places, if you will.
If that were a candy, that would be the worst candy. Let's serve that to kids when they come to the door.
We might get a phone call or a visit by the police department on that. Law and Order SVU will be knocking on our door. You know, when it comes to bad candy, the worst candy, also, there's this big, apparently, myth about razor blades in candy.
I've been terrified of razor blades in candy since I was a small child.
Apparently, it's a complete myth. It's an urban legend. Reports of tampered Halloween candy, razor blades, or poisonous are extremely rare and often debunked. According to a study, 80% of cases are hoaxes or misunderstandings.
Okay.
So there is never, I think I had seen there had never been a confirmed case of a razor blade, specifically a razor blade, in candy on Halloween.
I remember a Monk episode where somebody was going to try to kill, I believe it was his wife, by injecting the candy with poison. And somehow it got out of the house. And I've always been terrified of somebody injecting my candy.
I mean, I guess it's possible, but I think there's hope. Hopefully there's more good people in the world than there are people who want to watch the world burn. Okay, what about okay, speaking of trick-or-treating.
Yes.
Do y'all ever get trick-or-treaters out where you live? Y'all live in the country.
Yep, we don't get anybody.
Out away from town.
I mean, I say that. The last several years we've not been at home. We've been over here, so I wouldn't know. But we've lived out there for 20-plus years, and like maybe once in 20 years it's happened. Just a random person.
I walked all the way here from Main Street.
We're too far and few between out where we live, I think, to do it.
We've always lived in neighborhoods, so we'll get now. Some neighborhoods in town are better than others, or worse, depending on how your perspective of Halloween.
I was gonna say, if you are one of these people that don't like interaction with strangers at your door, this is like, if your nightmare is a Jehovah's Witness knocking on your door, you should just take a vacation this week.
I mean, that's true, but I mean, Jehovah's Witness knocking on your door at Halloween are very different things.
While I know some very nice people who are Jehovah's Witnesses,
right, yeah,
and I know some
absolutely.
very nice people who are Mormons, but they know what their stereotype is.
Oh yeah,
okay,
they absolutely
so they are aware of this, so I don't feel bad talking about it. I had a couple of folks from the Mormon church show up at my door a few months ago, and they're like, "Hey, I typically don't answer my door, but I was there and I saw them, so I opened it. We had this short conversation. They said, "Hey, we got your request for a Bible, and we thought we'd bring it out to you and deliver it, and see if we could answer any questions." And they're just like, "I didn't request a Bible." And they're like, "Well, are you Aaron?" I was like, "Yeah." Somebody. And I told them, I said, "Okay." I said, "I'm sorry that they wasted."
Oh, no.
I had somebody who signed me up for a visit from the Mormon church. I'm involved with a Baptist church in our community, and so somebody, I guess, thought they would play this prank, that's
a good prank.
Sent them to my door.
You know, I think it was a comedian one time that said, if you're a Jehovah's Witness, it's a missed opportunity if you're not going to door on Halloween night.
Absolutely.
They're guaranteed to open the door.
They're going to open the door.
Take advantage of it, dress up and say, "Hey, I don't want candy, but while I got you." But one of the things, so like here, we welcome trick-or-treaters. We're happy with all that. But during a certain time period, like while we're here, while it's, it's usually this says between the typical trick-or-treating hours are between 5:30 and 9 p.m. I would agree with that. Around here, it starts to really die down around 8.
Yeah.
But the worst part is when you get the teenagers who start knocking on your door at 9:30 and 10 o'clock at night wanting candy. We've said this before. If you're over the age of 13 trick-or-treating, what are you doing? Like, the adults in the room don't really want to give you candy. And we've posted that take before on TikTok, and people said, "Well, would you rather them be doing that or going to a party or something like that?" And for those people, I would say they're going to the party anyway after they're done trick-or-treating. Yeah, they're doing
they're still going to do both.
You're not keeping them off the streets by having them on the streets knocking on doors. They're still going to do all that stuff. Leave my house alone, though. Like, if I don't know you, like, why? I mean, am I crazy? Talk me down from this because it bugs me.
What I'm looking at says the majority of trick-or-treaters are age 5 to 14, but about 12% of teenagers 15 to 17 still plan to trick-or-treat. So this is from the U.S. Census Bureau. So they're considering they're considering teenagers to be 15 to 17 years old. Just that 3 years.
Yeah.
So they're saying 12, 13, 14 is okay.
I don't know about, I mean, I guess there's the gray area. I guess, you know,
I
some
guess they're
kids
saying
mature
high
fast.
school. If you're
Yeah.
ninth grade and above, you shouldn't do it.
Absolutely shouldn't do it. I
If
don't
you're
think.
junior high, is it okay?
I think it's the gray area. That's the transition part. Sometimes it's hard to grow up. Sometimes you got a little brother or sister, you know, whatever. But like,
Are you IDing these people at the door?
I'm
Like,
not, but
proof?
I want to. Because I don't know. I see a 17-year-old kid come up to my door, and it's not like he's taking his little sister trick or treating. Like it's
Just him?
just him. And I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like you're on.
Now, what is Lauren's position on it?
I think she feels the same way as I do.
Okay.
Like it's not empathy. We did student ministry for so long. We know the maturity level of these kids enough to know that they're just wanting some free candy. The wonder is gone from. They're not even trying with their costume. Like they're just throwing on a mask and their normal clothes and going around. I don't know. It just bugs me. It just bugs me.
So you are anti free candy for teens.
I am the Scrooge of Halloween because I'm like, what are you doing? Yeah, I'm anti teenage Halloween candy.
So the candy should be reserved just for the kids. But you are pro adults eating the kids' candy.
well, if it's your kid,
So you're
yes.
just like in this weird space where like the teenagers should not get candy. Adults can have the candy. The kids can have the candy,
Look,
but the teens don't get
you
anything.
know as well as I do. Okay, we got kids that can work for us now. Okay, I get to eat their candy. Ellie is too young to really eat candy, but when we go knock on some doors this week, I'm eating her candy.
So there's the question. If you are the house that everybody comes to, how does she participate in the door-to-door?
Well, see, we're going early. I think we're going to have somebody.
You're going early.
We're going to go a little
Who's going to be
early.
home?
Well, I think we're going to have some people watch our house for a little bit while
Oh.
we go out for like 20 minutes.
Okay.
She's too young right now. We're going to go hit some houses and come back. So like, you know, grandparents live nearby and that kind of thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm going to get some candy from her. And we have candy here. You know, I'm going to be munching on that candy.
Yes.
Already am. It's sitting in a bowl out there. It's the Reese's dark chocolate thins that we reviewed. It's sitting in a
Those
bowl.
are good.
Those are very good.
Lauren was a big fan.
She was a huge fan. And just a little best things follow up. I had them after.
You hated on him.
I did hate on them. But I also, we came from having so much other
It was
that it was, I just didn't, but I get
bad.
it now. I get it now by itself. Just having it one piece without anything else. I get
good.
it. It's really, really good. I
is.
enjoy it.
Let's see. I had another question that I wanted to ask you regarding this, and now I've forgotten what it was. It had to do with the trick-or-treating.
I will say another thing with trick-or-treating is our dog does not like trick-or-treaters.
Okay.
Marcy will be barking the whole night.
If we're talking about some of the worst things, if you live in a neighborhood where there's a lot of people that are coming through and you have an animal that goes nuts, that's going to be a nightmare night.
She is barking all night. We usually have to put her up for stuff like this and 4th of July and stuff like that, which I guess a lot of dog owners do. But our dog is an outside dog only, so she's smelling every person who walks by our house. Of course, the one year we did Scooby-Doo, we dressed her up as Scooby-Doo. That's the only year we've ever dressed her up for Halloween.
Okay.
And I know a lot of people do dress up their animals.
Is that a worse thing?
I think so. I'm realizing in my old crotchety era, I'm becoming less and less of a dog person because I'm around more and more people who are being a dog person to the extreme. Like they go crazy over. Lauren and I's comfort show at the end of the night has been Lego Masters.
Wow.
And that's our guilty pleasure show right now. And they were doing a whole episode where you had to build a replica of a dog out of Legos. And one of the girls on there just lost her ever-loving mind because there were dogs in the building. And I'm judging her hard because I'm like, why are you getting this excited about a dog? But I've become that person. Like a dog is just there. And I'm not mean toward a dog. I'm not anything like that. But like, I just don't get hyped up for dog stuff like a lot of dog people do.
I asked ChatGPT what some of the worst things about Halloween was, and it brought up dog costumes, pet costumes, and it brought up the too old for trick or treating debate.
Yeah.
So you definitely check off two of those.
And I feel like the year we did the costumes episode, we looked like costumes for animals was like
It was
incredibly high.
It was a big business. It was a big business at that point. It probably still is. It may be bigger now.
It may be.
And then one of the others it mentioned is the Halloween Sugar Crash for kids and adults.
Yeah.
And regret. Do you ever have regret after eating the candy?
No.
I haven't either.
I guess not. No. I mean, I feel like I do pretty good in moderation, although you would look at me and go, you don't do very well in moderation, but
I am hoping. Is there? I know a lot of times Lauren will, pick a candy kind of theme that fits with it.
Yeah.
Now we had discussed Flintstone vitamins.
right. I think we went against that. She's having a hard time with this one. This has been hard.
Okay.
We thought maybe we could find the little boxes of Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Pebbles. You can't find the little boxes anywhere, though.
I would say nerds are sort of rock-like.
That's a good point.
Pop Rocks.
We thought about Pop Rocks, rock candy.
Rock candy.
What's your take on rock candy, real quick?
I'm not a fan.
I'm not a fan either. That would go on a worse for me.
Yeah.
Again, it's just sugar. There's no flavor.
Yes.
It's hard.
I agree.
It's uncomfortable to eat. Does not have a good mouthfeel.
Rough up your roof of your mouth trying to eat it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a rock candy fan.
Not a rock candy fan.
I was going to, though, also suggest that I'm still trying to find these. I had a Snickers peanut butter square.
Yes.
In a fun size. And it's one of the best things I've ever had. I need to find out. It's one of the companies that I work with. Find out, where did you find those peanut butter? Snickers peanut butter.
I heard somebody else talk about it. It may have been GMM, and they alluded that they don't make them anymore because I heard they need to bring it back. So I don't know if they're discontinued, if they are, when they went discontinued, but I want one in a bad way. That says Dollar General's got it.
This is it right here.
Yeah, we probably could do a revised best candy episode.
This would definitely go into it.
So is it just chocolate peanut butter, or does it have some nougat and stuff like that?
No, it's got the
it's got
the nougat in there.
Everything with the Snickers, but
with peanut butter.
Oh man.
Now that says out of stock.
Oh man.
It says it's in stock at 6 nearby stores though. Oh boy, there's some just less than a mile away. Well, it says they've got them in stock.
As soon as this episode's over, we're gonna go get some.
We should.
What else we got? What else is the worst things about Halloween?
Well, let's talk about costumes.
Okay. Let's talk about them. You are not a costume fan.
I'm not a costume guy. I am the polar opposite of Lauren.
You look back at all of our pictures from the year. You're the one who's like, this is a costume, right?
I am barely a participant. I want to look as normal as possible with as little effort.
My favorite two that you've done. Last year we did a zoo theme, and I was like a Steve Irwin kind of, dressed up like that. The girls were dressed up as animals. The kids were dressed up as animals. Aaron shows up to our house. He was supposed to be a zookeeper kind of guy like I was. He showed up just as a normal dude. He goes, I'm the person walking through. I'm the visitor.
I was a zoo visitor.
He was the visitor. And then we did the Wizard of Oz one year, and you were supposed to be the Tin Man. And he just shows up in some gray.
I had on a gray shirt and gray pants.
And you made a little.
And I had
aluminum foil.
Aluminum foil hat. And I would put it on for a moment if somebody, I'd hold it up here.
But I mean, that is the thing. When you're at a house welcoming trick-or-treaters, like, you dress up for the pictures, and then half of it comes off the rest of the time.
Yes.
It's on a Thursday night this year. We're going to be watching football.
We will.
And eating some good food.
Yes.
While the girls and kids are handing out candy. So I don't want to sit there in my full garb, the whole time. But when certain people come by the house, you're like, oh, they're going to want to see. So so you and the hat was kind of genius, but also just hilarious because somebody would show up and go, oh, put my costume on.
Also, it was also very easy the year that we did Winnie the Pooh. I was Christopher Robin.
Oh, that's right.
So
yeah.
I just had a yellow polo, blue shorts, and then I had a red balloon. So when people would come up, I just grabbed my balloon and I would hold my balloon. Those are the kind of costumes that I can do it.
so funny.
When you're asking me to participate in being the Flintstones, this really pushes me out of my costume comfort zone.
This is a hard one to kind of half do.
Like, I'm gonna have to wear
you're gonna have to wear
a dress.
a tunic. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens. I don't expect the real costume to show up at my house that Thursday. So I'm very excited to see what happens.
I identify with Jim from The Office, and this is on some of these lists when it comes. It talks about the people who don't try hard enough with their costumes. You know, you put a name tag on me, I'll write somebody else's name on. Tonight I am Dave. That is my costume.
That is your costume.
That is where I live. But then you have the people who go, I think, to the other extreme.
Yeah.
That do too much with the costume. So I think costume.
And Lauren's definitely closer to the other end. Now she's not going to go full on, but like there's pictures. Heidi Klum has always famously gone over the top with her costumes.
Yeah.
Like she will sit in a makeup chair for hours and put prosthetics on. Lauren's not going to do that. I'm right, I think, in the middle. I don't mind getting dressed up, but I want to be comfortable while I do it. Like, I don't want to be uncomfortable in the costume.
You don't want to wear an inflatable dinosaur all
I don't want to put paint on my face. I don't want to wear something that, just uncomfortable. So I'll do it, but I want to do it comfortably because you're going to be in it for a while. You know, if you go to a Halloween party at somebody else's house, you're going to be, it's going to be a road game, and you want to be comfortable while you're there. So I don't want to do anything that goes over the top. But I do like to. I have gone to. There's been a couple times I've gone to quote unquote extremes. Like one time for a costume, I shaved my face because the character didn't have a beard, and I regretted that one.
Was that a Walking Dead?
No, that was. I don't remember what that was. That was a long time ago. I didn't do that after because it's fun that night, but then afterwards
you gotta live with it.
I got to live with it for a couple days. So. It wasn't a lot of fun. I did a mustache one year. This was for like a VBS. Lauren hated that.
This is a list of some of the worst when it comes to costumes. And it mentions outdated pop culture costumes. So, for example, they say you should not dress up as Ella from Frozen.
Oh, yeah. Kids are still going to do that, though.
Is that, to me, what's wrong with that?
I mean, I guess if an adult does it, it seems kind of why you're doing it. But for a kid, it's going to be their favorite thing.
It mentions Harley Quinn. It's like 2016. That's too old. 2016 seems like just a couple years ago.
It's not, man.
Okay.
It's almost a decade ago now.
It was 8 years ago.
How does that make you feel that 2016 was almost a decade ago?
But that doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me, no. I mean, I guess it's... You're talking kids' costumes, adult costumes. It feels weird if I was to see somebody dress up as Tiger King today. That'd be weird, seeing this. I wouldn't get it probably at first. I'm like, 'cause it's just outdated.
I guess if it's a pop culture thing like that, but if it's a character from Frozen,
that's a poor example, I think.
Or even Harley Quinn. If you're from a movie or a TV show that people know, I don't find that to be...
That people are still going to watch.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if it's a pop culture reference, like just a very current thing from a couple years ago, it's just like, what was it? Was it last year or the year before? Everybody was going as like Amanda Heard and Johnny Depp.
Yes.
That was the whole big thing. That would be weird now.
Okay.
I've heard a lot of people are going to do Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift this year.
Oh, my.
So you just
see, I have other reasons to oppose that.
What's your reason? I just don't like it.
It's stupid. That's my reason.
Yeah, it is stupid. Americans spend $4.1 billion on costumes a year. That was just last year. A large portion of it happening this week, the week of Halloween.
I can see that.
35% of adults struggle with what to wear on Halloween, often deciding last minute.
Just be normal like me.
Just slap on a name tag. My favorite costumes are the punny ones. Those are harder to do, but punny costumes, I tend to like.
See, this is really the number one thing on the list when it comes to the worst. It says pun costumes.
Pun costumes are the worst?
Like ceiling fan with a shirt that says, go ceilings.
See, I love that.
I think that's hilarious.
I love those. I think that's so funny.
Yeah, me too. I like that. Here's another one. The couples costumes gone wrong. Like this list: toilet paper and poop.
Okay, that's bad. That's just bad.
Who's doing that?
Who's doing that? There is not a single wife in the world or girlfriend who's saying, "I will agree to be the toilet paper to your poop." No, that's not happening.
It mentions plug and socket.
I have seen that one. Not in the wild, but I've seen it on the internet. Couples costumes, I mean, that's kind of one of the to me, honestly, that helps take the pressure off of trying to figure out what to do, because I kind of just leave it up to her.
It does.
And, it just kind of, it works out.
I don't have a problem with couples costumes that are tasteful. Yeah. Like toilet paper and poop is
it's weird.
We've gone too far.
Yeah.
But now here's one. It mentions political costumes.
Yeah.
To me, it feels in an election year, when you're 2 weeks from the election, it feels appropriate.
We're going to see some kids at our house with a Trump mask on.
There should be 100%. Trumps. You're going to have Kamala's, Obamas. You see it all the time.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
No,
especially in election years.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny.
Yeah. What else does it give?
Let's see here. Okay, it mentions plastic masks.
Those are
and
the worst.
Poncho style retro. Vintage 80s, 90s.
Those things are you can't breathe. They cut into your face.
They're terrible.
They're steaming up. The condensation is in there. One of my favorite bits, I've talked about comedians already, but Jerry Seinfeld does this Halloween bit.
Yes.
Where he talks about that mask, and you want to wear dressed up as Superman, and then it's cold outside, so your mom makes you put on the winter coat over your costume, so it doesn't matter. Which we don't have that very often, a really cold Halloween. I mean, it's been chilly this week.
It has.
But
next week it's supposed to be nice.
Yeah, I don't know that Halloween week will be very super.
How about this one? Store-bought sexy costumes. Everybody tries to make everything sexy now.
That is true. Halloween,
like why? Like sexy animals.
And yeah, this is for your college and your 20-somethings and your wannabe 20-somethings.
Yes, the wannabes are even worse.
Is a lot worse. But yeah, I guess I want to say I get it, but like, why are you going out in public with all that kind of stuff? I guess. I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. That's for one of those awkward adult Halloween parties. Yeah. Which, I mean, again, that's just not our jam.
No, we're not. We're not in that scene.
We're not. Yeah, that's not. Can you tell? That's not our vibe. But I guess if you're trying to do things and meet certain quote unquote people, then I guess I see why you would do it. But like when I see you walk around the Walgreens,
yes,
on Halloween night,
yes,
I'm like, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
Yeah. If you're going to do that, don't be inappropriate and go into public places with it.
Have a public costume on.
Yes.
That's what we're asking, Or
the heavy winter coat. Okay, they list food costumes as being one of the worst things. Oh. Dressing as a giant banana, a taco, a slice of pizza.
That's easy.
I don't see that as being a worst.
No, that's not worse. That's cheap and easy off Amazon.
Yeah.
You just have some fun with it.
I think those are fun.
Yeah.
Like I would totally dress up as a walking taco. See, I could be a walking taco.
So that covers both. A pun,
does. Yes,
and a food.
Yes,
make it a sexy walking taco. You got a hat trick. Oh, so costumes, they kind of are what they are, right? I mean, it's going to be Halloween. You're going to see costumes.
Personally, I mean, I'm going to say costumes are one of the worst because I'm not a costume guy.
Right.
So
I will say another one to add that list is little kids dressed up in these horror costumes.
Yes.
Like they look all bloodied or zombied or
over the top,
just evil looking.
Yes.
And I'm like, dude, you're 7. Like, why are you dressed up this grotesque?
Yeah.
I guess it's just a family thing, but like, it's just weird to me.
It doesn't feel tasteful.
Right. Tasteful is a good word for it. Speaking of horror and tastefulness, this is the time of year you are going to be inundated on any streaming platform or movie theater about horror movies.
Yes.
And, Huluween and all these, every streaming platform has all their, now I'm not against scary movies. I don't like horror though.
Like they have no point to them.
Yeah.
They are just nothing but gore and gruesome just for the sake of being that. Like,
don't
there's
get
no plot to the movie.
The Shining is a good horror movie. Saw is not. You know.
Here is what I have also noticed this year, though, and we mentioned this in a recent episode. Having a small child now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're watching YouTube or whatever, and suddenly some of these terrifying scenes pop up, and I'm like, okay, I've got to turn this off because I don't want to give my kid nightmares. And some of these previews that they're popping up just on quick ads are unsettling.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want my 2-year-old seeing this stuff.
Yeah, and it's everywhere. Like,
Yes.
they're you just can't escape them.
No.
There are, ads for it. There's previews for them. There's trailers, and every new thing right now is dropping is going to be. And what's funny to me is that it turns on a dime. November 1 at midnight, you're going to see Christmas stuff.
Yes.
I mean, the second Halloween is over, you're going to see that. So the whole horror side of things, I mean, you just kind of can't escape it. I'm not opposed to the. It just feels like, and we'll get into decorations probably next, but like, I'm okay with the campiness of Halloween. I'm thinking like the Hocus Pocus movie and the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown, and all that kind of stuff is fun. But it seems like, and I told Lauren this the other day, it feels like every year it gets darker and darker and bigger and longer and more, and just it's becoming a weird trend that I don't know.
We have to go further than what we were the year before.
Yeah.
Like, we have to push the envelope even further. Like, this wasn't enough. What can we do now?
So it feels like you're starting to get. I mean, as soon as Labor Day was over, I was seeing people say it's Halloween season. Here we go, spooky season. Let's go. Like, it's just. It used to be a week. Now it's a month and a half.
And every season is becoming that way.
Every season. I mean, yeah, except for Thanksgiving.
It just kind of gets.
Thanksgiving's getting squeezed in.
It gets squeezed in and overshadowed by Halloween on one side and Christmas on the other.
Yeah.
It's like it has its moment. Like, okay, you've had your day.
We need to do
week.
like Canada does and move it earlier before Halloween.
While we're talking about entertainment, this is the season for some like really terrible TV and movies.
Yes. Just really awful.
Is Hocus Pocus one of the worst?
I don't care for it. I mean, I'm really indifferent toward it. Lauren loves it.
It did not make this list, but they do list Halloween Town on there.
I don't know that I've seen that. Lauren talks about it. I don't know that I've seen
Erica likes to watch this, the original one, which I think was like 1998.
Really?
The first one or two of the Halloween Towns. They are so cheesy. Like, it is cringeworthy bad.
But a lot of there's a Disney Channel show, right?
Yes. So these are things that you can watch with your kids. I'm not talking like horror stuff here.
Right.
They're just cheesy, the overacting.
Yeah.
Like, some of the Disney stuff's not bad. Halloween Town's terrible. Here's another one that I think, now I enjoy this one. You would probably say this could be arguably one of the worst. Ernest Scared Stupid.
Oh my gosh.
I love Ernest Scared Stupid.
I just can't get on board. I mean, I remember watching
I thought you
Ernest.
liked slapstick comedy.
I do.
That's what he is. He's great at it.
I guess I don't know. I don't know if there's something in my brain that wants to stand up for the South a little bit more, not in like a Civil War way. Call it out TikTok. Not that, but like the second it left my mouth, I was like, "Oh, come back!"
Wow, that was great.
But no, like, I mean, I'm a Southern boy through and through. People often think I'm not because I don't have a thick Southern accent. But like, I've always been like, hey, the South isn't full of just rednecks and hillbillies. And I think when I hear Ernest and I see that and the vibe it gives and how I'm just like, no, man, this is not who we are. I don't know if that's like a subconscious thing for me. I remember watching the Ernest movies as a kid, but because last year we did a Christmas episode or something like that, and you said you need to watch Ernest Saves Christmas, and I did, and I felt the same way after watching it as I did before. Like, it didn't change my mind. So like, I just am not,
I think who you watch something with though also plays a factor into it.
You think so?
Because if there's no way that Lauren would enjoy this at all. No. She doesn't like
No, I didn't watch it with her though.
I'm just saying.
I watched it solo.
The comedies that we like, she hates.
That's true.
She just hates comedy in general.
No, she loves Friends. She loves Princess Bride or Princess Diaries. Well, she likes Princess Bride too.
Yeah.
Princess Diaries.
I think that you have to have the right people. And I
watched it just me solo.
I think you probably had a bad attitude about it.
We'll watch it together. We'll put this on Thursday night before the football game starts.
Here's another one that gets listed, and I see this one made fun of a lot. Wicker Man.
Oh, that the Nick Cage movie?
Not the bees.
Dude, like the first half of the movie's not bad. If I remember right.
It has been so long since I've seen it. I don't even remember the movie. I just remember the clip that gets made fun of so much, and it makes lists of being one of the worst.
It is. Oh my gosh, that is 100% pure Nick Cage at the end of that. I can't tell what if Nick Cage is acting like he's acting or not. is he acting like he's acting, or is he acting? I don't know. If is he trying to be a portrayal of who he is, because he's doing some of these dramatic roles and stuff now, and I have not seen a lot of them, but he's got big critical acclaim. But then you see him in something like that and go, I can't make them connect. I just don't. I don't know who Nick Cage is right now.
That's a good question.
It's hard to get a read on who he is.
I don't know who he is either. Nope.
What about decorations? This to me is one of the worst things. We haven't hit the button. Do we want to do a bracket?
I guess we're not doing a bracket.
I guess we're not going to do a bracket. This would be probably a 1 seed for me, though. The decorations, because they're getting out of hand. These 12-foot tall skeletons and Grim Reapers and pumpkin head. It is way over the top. And it used to be one house in our city over by where my wife works. Your wife worked there too.
Yep. So
we drive by it all the time. And it was like the one house in the city that had it, and it was just over the top. And I get it for a week. If it's up for a week, okay. It's Halloween week, have fun with it. They keep this stuff up year round.
Yes.
Right after Halloween, a couple of weeks after, they put a Santa head on that skeleton. It's like a 15, 20-foot tall skeleton. They're just going to put a Santa hat on it. And it gets grotesque. Now there's other ones. There's 2 or 3 houses in our neighborhood.
Several.
That just popped up this year. They've never done it before. So the decorations are just, I don't know. It's different when there's like a little inflatable pumpkin or something like that out, or whatever. Or you make your bushes have some spider webs on it. That's fine. But they're getting really over the top now, and it's just a little off-putting. It makes you feel like you live in a dump.
Yes,
it makes it feel grungy and gross.
It does,
and I don't like it. So
I agree, and. Like your house gets a lot of attention usually.
Yeah.
People remember your house because Lauren and you.
Yeah, we like to.
It usually fits a theme.
We do it the one day
for the day.
Yeah. So we're doing Flintstones. We're gonna make the outside of our house is gonna look like bedrock kind of. We're gonna make some fake rocks.
Yeah.
But it's for the one day.
For the one day.
It's for the one day, and then that's it. And it's a lot of work for one day. And I guess that's what is that what people are thinking? Like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to keep it up for as long as I can. But how much? I look at some of these houses. I'm like, how much you are spending? Because I used to do haunted houses back in the day.
Yes.
And I know how much that stuff cost 15, 20 years ago. I can't imagine. They're dropping thousands of dollars for the front of their yard for a month. I just don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me.
I agree. And some people I have seen try to go overboard with some of like their scare props.
Yeah.
Especially if you have kids coming up your door.
Yeah.
You probably shouldn't do that.
Right. No, not without a sign or something, like warn a person that you're doing some stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, when we take our kid trick or treating as she gets older, we're not going to any of those houses.
And I think even some of the haunted houses and stuff that people do, just like we talked about, like the movies and things continue to go further and further.
Yeah.
People are going further and further with the haunted houses and just crossing some lines. It feels like
definite lines getting crossed. Now they're trying to go in, like, they're seeing how far. There are now prizes if you can make it to the end.
Yes.
Like it's like eating the 72-ounce steak. Like you get your money back if you can even make it to the end of this thing. That's how far they're going with them.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else do we got? I mean, tying into that, pranks. You could tie pranks into that because, I mean, again, we live in the city, so you probably get less of this.
Yep.
But, you know, there's always something, especially since having a kid, there's this little, in the back of my mind, there's always something that goes, you know, is somebody going to try to prank our house? Is some nefarious teenager? Again, it's why I don't like teenagers coming trick-or-treating, because then they know, I don't know. This is the old guy in me just looking at it and trying to think of every possible outcome. But like, they know what we got. They know who we are, you know? And so like, I'm just like, is the truck going to get keyed up? Is our house going to get egged? Are we going to get TP'd? What's going to happen? Are they going to try something? You know, I don't know. But, I mean, it happens. When I was doing this is the most I've talked about me doing student ministry, but when I was doing that, I was always like, teenagers know where I live.
Right.
They're going to play some playful, probably in good-spirited prank on me.
Yes.
But it's gonna happen at 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm asleep, and it's going to freak us out. And then I'm going to have to clean it up. Lauren tells a story, though, about her dad. One year they got TP'd, and Lauren's dad is a very frugal person.
Yes, he is.
She tells me he went out
No.
and rolled up the toilet paper to reuse. Now I'm hoping it's not on his person, but for other purposes.
Yes.
But yeah, he went and kept that toilet paper.
Wow. I ran into him the other day at the store.
Did you?
Yep.
So you probably don't get pranked a lot.
No.
Where y'all are at.
No, we don't.
But pranks are definitely a thing out there. 15% of adults have experienced a Halloween prank, most commonly toilet papering, egging. Vandalism is less frequent. I guess that's good to know.
That is. Here's one that is mentioned. Big pumpkin spice is one of the things that I think that Americans should worry about the most. I don't know who these nefarious people are, but they should be rounded up. They should be tried, because we're pumpkin spicing everything to an extreme level that should not be pumpkin spiced. You know what should be pumpkin spiced? Pumpkin rolls and pumpkin pie.
And coffee.
Beyond that, don't pumpkin spice anything ever.
Pumpkin spice your coffee.
No, it shouldn't be in the coffee.
Should absolutely be in your
Is that in your coffee?
That's in my coffee, yeah.
Why?
Because it's delicious. Look, just because you're a pumpkin spice hater, do you like pumpkin pie?
It's mid.
So you're not an authority on the subject then if you don't.
I am saying it's okay to have pumpkin pie. It's okay to have pumpkin rolls. It's okay to have. I ate a pumpkin cinnamon roll a couple of weeks ago. Somebody made some homemade pumpkin cinnamon rolls for us. They were fantastic. I'm not a big pumpkin guy, a pumpkin spice guy, but I feel like Donald Trump here. So I don't know what's going on.
Not a pumpkin guy.
I'm not a pumpkin guy.
It's terrible, awful.
If Trump wins, maybe he can do something about the pumpkin spice industry. Okay, let's deal with that. Forget
No, because
the border
that's
crisis.
a very American thing, so it stays here. He's not getting rid of that. You know how much money that makes for the country? That boosts the economy alone. That's why it exists, is to get us to Christmas.
If we're going to deport anybody, let's deport the pumpkin spice people, okay? We can live without you.
Now, listen, I will agree with you on the fact that it starts too early.
It starts too early and it goes too far.
I've stood on this platform and I will say October 1 is when pumpkin spice should become a thing. Having pumpkin spice in August is an atrocity and needs to be banned. It needs to be no later than late September, but really October 1 it needs to start. And it needs to go through Christmas.
No.
A lot of them start cutting it off about the first week of November because they've started it in August.
It should end. It should be the month of October, and that's it.
It should go to at least Thanksgiving. When I think of pumpkin, I'm also thinking of Thanksgiving for pumpkin pie and stuff like that.
We've already
October,
determined
November.
Thanksgiving doesn't have its day anymore.
But let's give it that. Let's go pumpkin spice from October,
then
November.
it can have no. So you only want to limit Christmas then to 1 month?
No, those two can overlap. I have no problem with them overlapping. What happened to overlapping in this world? What happened to things coming together and living harmoniously with each other? Those two things can coexist together. You can start having your peppermint mochas and your peppermint stuff happening the week of Thanksgiving. That's fine. That's fine with me. I'm not going to partake, but I have no problem with it.
Pumpkin pies, pumpkin rolls, pumpkin cinnamon rolls, pumpkin candles. That's acceptable.
Okay.
I think we should come to an agreement.
You're saying
As Americans, we should choose 5
We have a finite number of things.
to like 10 things that we agree on.
So if there's some Little Debbie Hostess product that comes out and it's just the best pumpkin thing you've ever had, one of those things has to go off.
Let's say there's 10 things on this list, and it's like Survivor. If we're gonna we're gonna vote something off the pumpkin spice island. Okay, there's not room for all of this.
Okay.
I don't need pumpkin spice toilet paper. I don't need pumpkin spice hand soap. I don't need pumpkin spice toothpaste.
That would be that. I'm sure. I was about to say that doesn't exist, but I'm sure it does. I saw that there are pumpkin pie M&Ms.
See, that's too far. Pumpkin pie should not be in any candy.
There's pumpkin pie pork rinds.
Why?
I don't know why.
If you're a pumpkin spice person, you should join me in this venture together.
I think I could get on board with limiting it to a certain number of things.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think I'm with you on that, but that doesn't mean. I mean, that doesn't mean you're a hater.
Lattes, cookies.
Those are all acceptable. Latte, cookies,
air fresheners.
That's borderline. I like a candle because it makes it feel like fall. I don't know if I've smelled an air freshener. Air fresheners tend to smell fake to me a lot of times. It doesn't work, but a candle I would enjoy.
Okay, as long as the commercialization of this season.
Yeah,
you mentioned it. It's getting like August. You're seeing it in the stores.
Yeah, that's true.
It's stretching it out too much.
I do agree with that. And why is it? It's got to be money, right?
Absolutely.
It's just got to be
always
money.
the money.
Because I mean, you go to a Lowe's or a Walmart, people start putting, they're starting to put stuff out to buy. Just it feels like people just say, "Oh, I can buy it. I'm just going to put it out." I think it's a cause and effect.
I feel like the fall season just gets overlooked.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
If it's fall, that's okay. If you wanna put out sunflowers, hay bales, pumpkins, scarecrows, all of that is acceptable.
Fall is different than Halloween.
Don't put out your Halloween. It shouldn't be this month-long thing.
I agree with that.
Make it pumpkin. Bring out your Halloween stuff for a week. I wouldn't gripe at you if you did it for a week.
No, I wouldn't either.
That's fine.
I think that's great. So hopefully we don't sound too crotchety.
Well, I mean, it was a worst episode.
That's true. It was a worst episode.
That's what it was supposed to be about. It's supposed to be a crotchety episode.
But hopefully you do enjoy this week. Enjoy Thursday, right? Thursday. Enjoy the day. Be safe.
If you can find some peanut butter Snickers, you'll enjoy it much more.
Mail it to us. P.O. Box. We don't have one at .com.
Oh, we ought to get a P.O. box.
We really should, because people might actually send us some stuff.
I have several friends that are pretty big on TikTok, and they get stuff from fans all the time.
We need to start doing that then.
We would end up needing a place to store it all.
It's true, because this room's running out of space.
It is.
Okay. Well, you have anything else to rant about, or anything positive to end on? Any of that stuff at all?
Anything positive to end on? Okay. Here we go. The average person is going to spend about $108.24 on candy. The average American is going to eat about 3.5 pounds of candy. I don't know if that's positive or not. 44% of you are going to carve pumpkins.
How many are going to carve pumpkins?
44%.
That seems low.
And don't forget, Illinois, they're the leading pumpkin producer.
It's true. We did do some Halloween trivia. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think we. So it was it just costumes we did? Maybe we did more than just costumes. That episode.
I feel like that was a stat we covered.
Yeah,
because I remember talking about Illinois and kind of being surprised that Illinois was the pumpkin capital.
Yeah, I think we covered a lot more about that episode. We've done this the last couple of episodes for some weird reason. And I don't know why.
I know where we're going.
I want to do it to you this time.
Okay.
Okay. Aaron, why don't skeletons fight each other?
They don't have the guts.
Oh, you got
Yeah!
it. You got it. What's a ghost's favorite dessert?
A ghost's favorite dessert. Blueberries.
Ice cream.
Oh.
Ice cream.
Ice cream.
What do you call two witches sharing an apartment?
Two witches sharing an apartment.
This is so dumb.
I don't have a clue.
Broommates.
Okay.
So bad. And then why are graveyards so noisy?
Why are graveyards so noisy? There's a lot of bones rattling.
Because of all the coffin.
Oh.
That was so bad.
Chat GPT, you funny. You funny.
Oh, we need to create an AI jingle for the AI
For
jokes.
the joke.
Yeah.
We need one of those songs.
We'll
Yeah.
do one of those songs. All right. That's all I got. You got anything?
No, I'm writing it out.
Okay. Happy Halloween, everybody. Enjoy the week. Share your pictures. Share your videos. Tag us on something. Things Pod.
Let us know what you think the worst things are.
Yeah, and if you see one of these things in the wild over on TikTok, tag us. Take a video of it. We'd love to react to it. All right. That's all I got. For the best things, I am Craig.
I'm Aaron.
We'll talk at you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Best Things Podcast. If you liked today's episode, subscribe and leave us a review wherever you're listening now. And remember, connect with us on the socials at Best Things Pod, and you may hear your take on an upcoming episode.